Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today there will be blood for the Blood God as the Norscan tribes face off against the Lizardmen as they protect their great plan. Vote for the forces of Norsca, which are being led by myself. We have Throg with his Wintertooth Crown. We have a Shaman Sorcerer Medal with Plague of Rust and Final Transmutation. For the rest of the forces, we have some Marauder Champions. We have a regular unit of Marauders, a couple of Berserkers on the flanks. We have some Femur Warriors with great weapons, and we have a lineup of Marauder Hunters with Javelins. And on the far right flank, we have the Beast of Tashnar and the Norscan Ice Wolves. A pretty standard kit for Norsca, and as long as these Femur Warriors stay away from these Temple Guard over here, they will do fairly well. As for the forces of the Lizardmen, who is being led by Malverde, we have a couple Pterodon riders starting to push forward, but they are being led by a Slan Mage Priest of Light. And we do have Foz Protection, Net of Amnitok, we have Briona's Time Warp, and then of course we have the Shield of the Old Ones and the Bound Banishment. For the rest of the forces, we have a Bastiladon Solar Engine, we have a Feral Carnosaur. Front line, we have some skink cohorts, the cohort of Sotek, the red-crested skinks. We have some more red-crested skinks over here, and in the back we have some Temple Guard. We have 3 units of those, and some more skink cohorts to wrap things up for the melee combatants, and we have a Salamander hunting pack, which will do well against any of the large targets that Norsca tends to bring. We have the Temple Guard against the Marauder Champions. The Marauder Champions do generally win that engagement. Though Briona's Time Warp is a completely different story to be told. Let's get things moving, shall we, as the shots start to rain in. But yeah, Temple Guard generally are quite a problem for Norsca. That's why the champions have been brought, and 3 units of those might prove very hard to deal with, and they will be looking for those Femur Warriors, so they will have to try and keep themselves from engaging in that. But shots are raining in from the Bastiladon. Throg is able to dodge that first blow, but the Javelins right now are doing some good damage against the Pterodons, against that one unit at least. Javelins will do very well if the Pterodons are unable to get into them, but the Salamander hunting pack has opened up into these Marauders, doing some good damage, knocking quite a few of them down, as now Norscans do charge in. Looks like the Lizardmen aren't going to be getting their charge off. It's going to be a little mistake, and a charge bonus is going to be helpful, especially against the charge of the Norscans, who's very much a rush faction, so especially Berserkers, you want to get a nice counter charge off of them. Unless, of course, you have in Temple Guard, I think they have bonus versus the charge. But yeah, these Marauder Champions have picked their good engagement, getting one of the units of Temple Guard, Throg getting in with the cohort, so as long as he stays away from the Temple Guard and kind of the other units, that should be pretty good for them. As we look into the other side, we have these Berserkers doing good work against... Actually, they are against the Temple Guard, so that's not necessarily the best. But these red-crested skinks have been quickly broken by the Femur Warriors and these Marauder Champions. Very good combo as the Javelins are firing in to these Pterodon Riders. A Banishment trying to clip these Norscan Ice Wolves, but are missing. It looks like we do have... it might be Briona's Time Warp coming in there. And it is, so that's an overcasted Briona's Time Warp. Taking a couple of the Temple Guard, so that's been doing very good work. The Temple Guard are actually engaged with one of the Femur Warriors with the assistance of the Feral Carnosaur. Now, the Feral Carnosaur probably wants to pull out, let those Temple Guard chew through those Femur Warriors, but these Norscan Ice Wolves getting a nice charge into the rear of those Skin Cohort, breaking them. Some of the Javelins have turned to start firing against the Slan Mage Priest of Light, doing quite a bit of damage. Not a whole lot in the immediate area to shut them down. Great Shield of Nope going down, protecting the core of the Lizardmen formation. We do have some Femur Warriors and Marauder Champions in the back, chewing through the Skin Cohort, and also getting onto the Bastiladon Solar Engine. So the mobility of Norsca is trying to clean up as much as they can through the outskirts as they chase off some red-crested skinks. And the Salamander's hunting pack is also back, but those Beasts of Tashnar will make quick work of them if they are on top of things. Now it looks like a net has gone down, actually on top of Throg, as Throg has taken some damage from the Feral Carnosaur as well as the Temple Guard. Not where he wants to be right now. The Shaman Sorcerer probably should start pulling away. He is only on foot, and it does look like Throg does shatter. So that is it for the leadership. Well, not quite for the leadership, but for the Norscan Lord, as he now does fall completely. So now At least the Lizardmen have broken that core, but the main stopping power right now is going to be in the Marauder Champions and the Fimir Warriors with great weapons. Now, I don't really know if the Valkonos wants to be engaging in with these Fimir Warriors. But yes, he do have 2 single entities, but he has Rampage, so that is part of it why he is unable to get out. But if a Cold-Blooded does go down on him, he'll be able to pull them out. But now the Norscan Ice is looking to isolate this Salon Mage Priest of Life. I will be able to take it down, but it will take quite a bit of time. Salon Mage Priest is quite tanky. Now the Pterodons are trying to get into combat with the Javelins to shut them down, as these Temple Guard are starting to rout the Shaman Sorcerer Metal, but not before a final transmutation goes down. That is going to be clipping. Does it go off? It does not look like it goes off. So neither of these 2 units were able to get caught by this, but a banishment going down in the middle of these Marauder Hunters. That'll be doing some good damage. We'll see if it is enough to rout them off. We do have 2 Javelins left with quite a bit of ammo. The Mage Priest is completely isolated right now, and the Feral Carnosaur has broken through the pressure of 2 of these Fimir Warriors, which is going to be quite a problem, especially after that Bastillodon. There's nothing really here that can deal effectively with the Fimir Warriors, at least here the time being. All the units that 2 Temple Guard are a little too far away to be dealing with them. They really need to come assist that Bastillodon and deal with those Fimir Warriors. But the other unit of Temple Guard is being stopped by, it's getting some focus fire from the Javelins, and 2 of the Champions units and Berserkers, so those Temple Guard will not be long in there. But the Shaman Sorcerer does come back, so we get a little bit of magic in the late game for Norsca. We take a little spin back, take a look and see where. So yeah, the Beasts of Dashnar were able to catch out that Feral Carnosaur and make sure it does not come back. Fimir Warrior trying to pull back to wait for some support, as the Temple Guard were able to finally get close, but now it looks like army losses are going to be routing across the board for the Lizardmen, and Norsca will take it. The only thing left is a few of the Cohort Sortek, who are unbreakable, but that is going to be all she wrote, and Norscans shall take this match. So we take a look at the after battle report here, and yeah, the Champions really did get their engagements that they wanted to. Bringing Fimir generally is a little bit of a risk, especially with the prevalence of having Temple Guard. Temple Guard do very well against Fimir Warriors, but the Champions do very well against the Temple Guards themselves, though Temple Guards with Briona Time Warp will pretty much chew through anything and everything. So they did get that Briona Time Warp at one point, but I don't think it was quite enough, because they were also engaged with some Marauder Champions. So the Marauder Champions took some damage from that, but the Fimir Warriors were able to at least avoid that damage as much as they could. And I think that Feral Carnosaur really got into the wrong engagements as well. He got mixed up with those Fimir Warriors, and those Fimir Warriors, that's pretty much what they're there for, is to get rid of those large targets. So the Bastillodon, the Feral Carnosaur, and the Salon Mage Priest, that is exactly who they wanted to be up against, and they got their engagements that they needed. Berserkers on the flanks are really just chew through the skin cohorts. But yeah, I think it really came down to those early engagements with the Temple Guard and the Champions, and I think a little bit of mix-ups here and there, and there could have been a very different matchup of getting those Feral Carnosaurs in with the Champions instead. I think that would have been a quite different story to be told. It doesn't mean to do very well getting Throg down, and some nice focus fire and attacks from the Feral Carnosaur did well indeed. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.